All right, BlackRock is about to full send on Bitcoin because here's one of the things that I started talking about maybe in 2023 after BlackRock filed for the ETF application, which was June 15th, 2023. That date should be engraved on something important to you because that is the day that the world changed for Bitcoin. It was, we can say that the ETFs, June 10th, 11th, 2024 was important, but really the important date was June 15th, 2023, which is when BlackRock filed for the application. That's when I turned my quote unquote jets on when it comes to content and started telling people you better get to one Bitcoin right now because BlackRock is coming. They're in the game, they're here, and they are coming for everything. And one of the things that I explained back then was that BlackRock is a profit-driven business. They've got shareholders that want them to make profits. One of the ways that BlackRock makes profits is by managing assets for other people, and then they take those assets and they charge a fee to manage them. And that's how they make money. It's a very, very simple business. This was when a lot of people were saying, no, you know what's going to happen is BlackRock's going to take over Bitcoin, and smooth brain Bitcoin maxi crowd that doesn't understand how anything of TradFi actually works. Basically, what's happened now, zooming forward, is BlackRock's, I saw this report flash up on Bloomberg. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF is generating more income for BlackRock than their S&P 500 fund. This is monumentally big news because what this means is that the incentive structures are aligning. And I said this was going to happen and it started happening and it's happened now. A lot of the things that I've realized about, and again, this is why you need to subscribe to the channel. A lot of things that I've realized about like the Bitcoin audience is that a lot of people are late to the game. They think that they're ahead, but they're actually late. These things are happening and happened. This is not going to happen anymore. This is in 2023, and they've accumulated enough Bitcoin inside that ETF that it's now basically generating more income for them than the S&P 500 fund. So here's what's going to happen from now into the future. They are going to press this advantage, and in multiple ways, because Bitcoin is the only asset where them helping MicroStrategy or strategy get more capital into the bond fund actually helps them make more money in their Bitcoin ETF because it's the same underlying asset. So if BlackRock sits there and devises a way to get more capital for strategy to buy more Bitcoin and push the Bitcoin price up, it actually benefits the BlackRock ETF, the Bitcoin ETF, because the price of Bitcoin goes up and their fees go up because their fees are a percentage of the value of the Bitcoin sitting in that fund. Very, very simple, but the game strategic way of thinking here is the more players in the game, the more people that are buying Bitcoin, the higher the Bitcoin price, the more these institutions are going to profit, which then creates the circle of the more they profit, the more they want to profit, and the more they press that advantage. And then suddenly all of this finance world starts converging on Bitcoin, which is exactly what's happening now. And I said this in 2023, and people were like, oh, no, that can't happen. This is exactly what's happened with real estate. Real estate got started, people started profiting, the banks created mortgages, the mortgages incentivized mortgage-backed securities, the mortgage-backed securities incentivize lending, the more the lending, the more your mortgage-backed securities, et cetera, et cetera. It creates a, some people call it flywheel, whatever. It creates this velocity around this industry, and that's exactly what's about to happen with Bitcoin. Now you've got Bitcoin treasury companies, et cetera, et cetera. So remember, they will use capital through Bitcoin treasury companies, through strategy, through whatever, to get the price of Bitcoin to appreciate, because net, the price of Bitcoin appreciating is more profitable for them because their income in the fund goes up. This is how finance works, and that whole world is converging into Bitcoin at this moment in time. So expect more Bitcoin lending, more Bitcoin securitization, more Bitcoin treasury companies, more Bitcoin, basically in all these different forms. Bitcoin lending, Bitcoin buying in some kind of way, anything that can drive capital into Bitcoin, which is going to ramp up profits, they're going to do. And that's the one thing that people, I think, are really misunderstanding. This is happening, and it has happened. If you're sitting there going, oh, I don't have a Bitcoin allocation, maybe I should buy some more, you are late. This is happening right now. Get off whatever egotistical, arrogant perspective you're on and understand that this is happening right now. This is, you are late to the game now, right? If you're sitting there going, oh, I've discovered Bitcoin, I've discovered it before, this, that, you're a moron. This is happening right now. The banks are doing this. BlackRock's incentivized. They're about to go full send on this. They've proven the concept to their shareholders. Their shareholders are going to be sitting there at the shareholder meeting going, wait, what was the highest income generating product that we have at BlackRock? And they're going to go, oh, it was the Bitcoin ETF. Firstly, imagine that conversation. You're a BlackRock shareholder. And you've gone from, oh, we have our S&P 500 fund, sir. We have our high growth tech NASDAQ fund, sir. To the most profitable fund that we've launched in the last year is Bitcoin. So now every shareholder of BlackRock, anyone who's watching BlackRock's balance sheet is going, Bitcoin, that's the game. And that's what's going to happen here. All of it's going to accelerate. All of it's going to go through the roof. And more velocity is going to come into the Bitcoin marketplace. And more capital is going to come for Bitcoin in all different fashions. Securitization, treasury companies, ETFs, every bond market, everything. And I want to do a video on the STRK product from MicroStrategy. So I want you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that, because I believe that that product is the first time that you've got something that resembles real estate. And I'm trying to get my parents to liquidate their property portfolio and put their entire value of the property portfolio into STRK, which is MicroStrategy's fixed income product. I want to explain why I think that's the case, and I don't want you to miss that. So subscribe to the channel, because ultimately, there are always only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Step number 1, you buy Bitcoin. Step number 2, shut the fuck up. And step number 3, you get fabulously wealthy.